Hi, Gloria. It's been a long time. Do you recall the person I mentioned to you at the company birthday celebration? We've made the decision to wed. The wedding's tentatively scheduled for 7 months from now. If you could come, it would be great. Hey, Mary! It's been so long since we last talked. So, you're tying the knot? I can't believe you're getting married ahead of me. Honestly, I'm astonished too. Also, I find it hard to imagine you won't wed Mr. Nerd from college. Instead, you go ahead and support yourself with a hotshot employee from a large construction firm. You're so cunning to get married before I do. Was it supposed to be a competition? We only happened to cross paths at work. I thought for the longest time you'd end up living a simple life with Mr. Nerd. Are you talking about Atlas from college? He had to move for work reasons. We both knew a long-distance relationship wouldn't work, so we decided to end things. Right now, I have no clue what he's up to or where he is. And now you've got a terrific catch who happens to work for a large construction firm and who you've gotten engaged to. I want to wed him too. At the birthday celebration, you showed me a picture of him that I still remember. Life is so unfair. I just want to wed a wealthy, strong guy, give up my career, and stay at home. Is that the only reason you want to get married? Marriage is crucial. Women discover satisfaction through marriage and a leisurely home life. If you were a housewife, you'd probably be rather busy. Anyway, don't you have a boyfriend? Of course! Every week I try something new, you know. Yesterday, I met a nice brunette, by the way. I'm going to choose whoever I think will make me the happiest if I marry them. I'm going to act as if I didn't hear anything, since this entire circumstance is completely beyond the bounds of my morality. When did you say that you would wed? 7 months from now? Yeah, 7 months. I only need to get married within the next 7 months then. Why do you say that? Then, I'll be the first to get married. Okay, sure. Anyway, should I send you an invite? Sure, send it over.
Mary, I need to discuss something with you.
What's wrong? I've just finished work and I'm on my way home. Did something happen?
I don't think I want to get married.
What? Why not?
You are aware that before getting married, most people get a bad feeling. Well, I've lately been struggling with a lot of uncertainties and anxiety around getting married.
You have no feelings for me?
Look, I've been having trouble with this for a month, and I've had plenty of time to reflect. When I'm feeling this way, I'm not sure whether getting married is the correct decision. And I believe that feeling like this indicates that I'm not ready. This was a misstep in my opinion.
A misstep? But it was you who asked me to marry you. Also, the whole wedding's already been arranged. I've already invited all of our relatives and friends.
Yeah, but...
You pushed on having a wedding even after I informed you I didn't want one. And you continued to declare your steadfast desire for one.
I don't want to wed you. This relationship should end. I'm sorry. And I don't want to put the effort and money that go into a wedding on you.
Do you actually feel that way?
That's why I want to stop talking right now. Sincerely, I skipped work today so that I could pack up everything. I'm relocating.
Wait a moment. This has happened entirely too quickly. Can we at least discuss this in person?
I've already given this a lot of consideration, and I'm certain that this is what I want. I want you to understand that.
Why have you chosen to end our relationship without even speaking to me first when there are 2 of us? It's not like I'll simply say, sure, let's end this, because that would be a terrible idea.
With things as they are right now, we cannot get married.
Even if you really choose to terminate things, we must first talk about it.
I don't need to talk to you about anything. I'm going to leave.
Are you for real? You're really going to end our relationship over SMS messages?
In order to start over, I'm blocking your phone number. Please refrain from calling or visiting me at work. If you do, I'll file a lawsuit to hold you accountable. As you are aware, I am employed by a reputable business. That suggests I am aware of a skilled attorney. I'll have one of them get a restraining order against you if you make any attempt. Or I'll have you fined for stalking.
You've got to be joking! Why do you make all the decisions without consulting me at all?
It's all your fault. Stay away from me. You just wouldn't quit pestering me about getting married. You caused me to feel confined. To be quite honest, I was considering suing you for harm to my mental health, but I guess I'll save that for last. You should be appreciative that I chose not to pursue this in court.
You were the one who consented to it if this is related to the wedding. Donald? Are you kidding me? Donald! Hello, Mary. I got word that the engagement was over. What's happening? How did you discover? I'm not really in the mood to message anyone. As soon as I've had a chance to consider everything, I'll contact you. Instead of canceling all of your bookings for the wedding, why not give them to me? Huh? I don't understand what you mean. I'm tying the knot. You're aware that I only work part-time, which results in my low income. And even though my fiancé works well-paying jobs at a reputable construction company, he doesn't want to spend money on a wedding. Therefore, we don't have a lot of extra cash. That's why I was considering giving me your reservations if you were going to cancel them all anyhow. What? I'm completely perplexed. Do you believe that canceling a $10,000 wedding is a waste of money? Why don't I do you a favor and be married in the location you selected to avoid having to call off the whole event? Of course, you would have to pay for the wedding. However, to be fair, you were expected to pay for the whole thing from the beginning, correct? What changes if I use the venue instead? Wait. How did you discover the estimated cost of the wedding? How'd you discover that I was the one who was making the payment? You said that you were getting married to a well-known construction firm employee who disliked paying for weddings. It looks like you got it! Yes, it's exactly what you think. Your former fiancé and I are engaged! You're joking. Are you referring to Donald? Only yesterday did we call off our engagement. How are you already engaged? Don't worry, I'll explain everything to you. Donald is my alter ego. Alter ego? Do you recall how you told me everything about your upcoming nuptials? The next day, I waited in front of Donald's office, mostly out of curiosity. Have you been following him? I reasoned, why not attempt to converse with him? We immediately clicked after that. We started dating almost instantly after that. What? I just wanted to see him at first, you know? I think I was fortunate, since I wasn't even sure whether I'd be able to run into him while waiting outside his office. Because he emerged shortly after I got there. It had to be destiny. How can you do this? Sorry, girl. I couldn't help myself. Donald's not only employed by a big construction firm, but he also has good looks. I came to the conclusion that he was the one guy for me after evaluating everything. After that, all that remained was for me to convince him to share my feelings for him before requesting that he leave you for me. It seems that I will have my ideal husband and wedding. Therefore, you're informing me that the two of you engaged in a liaison behind my back? Now everything becomes clear. Donald never told me the real reason why he couldn't get married. He immediately made the decision to end the relationship. So you're saying he left me because he was sleeping with you? What did you think? Men like to see a well-groomed, beautiful girl around them, you know. If you really cared for Donald, you would be pleased that he's getting married to me. Why on earth would I like the two of you spending time together at my expense? We intended to choose festive napkins for our visitors today. Do you realize that we're getting ready for a wedding? We'd already made plans for our honeymoon and had begun discussing purchasing a home together. And then, without ever speaking to me once, he decides it's done. How can you expect me to stand idly by while you wed the guy I was meant to spend the rest of my life with? And I'm sorry about that. But he chose to marry me. Besides, he already told me you didn't want to have a wedding, but you wouldn't let it go, would you? He said he didn't want to waste money on a wedding where he'd be forced to stand in front of a crowd of people. But what has that got to do with anything? Well, he just agreed to have a wedding for me. What? He agreed to that? Yeah. He said that since I was the woman he was marrying, it was worth it. You'll have to cover all of the wedding costs as agreed, of course. When Donald proposed to me, he promised me the wedding of my dreams. Donald, the most anti-wedding person I know, promised you that? This just goes to show that getting married to you wasn't as much of a priority as getting married to me was. In other words, the way he felt about you is nothing compared to how he feels towards me. All of this is just proof that he loves me more than he ever loved you. I have never seen someone so audacious as to ask someone else to plan and pay for their wedding. Why would you think that I would even consider doing that for you after everything you've said? Sure, but the groom is still Donald, so what's the problem? Plus, there are still 3 months left until the big day. If you start now, there's still time to make the changes since I'm the bride now. That's not the issue here. Everything is in Donald's name or my name. You realize we've even sent out invites with our names on them, right? It's not a big deal, so who cares? Also, I spoke to Donald earlier. He said you only invited a few friends and relatives as well as a couple of people from work. That's all, right? Yeah, but... Well, we share a lot of the same friends. So all I need to do is just forward the invites to your relatives and colleagues. Then I can invite my relatives and a few more friends instead, and we'll be able to meet the minimum guest count. The invites are quite simple to do, so I can send those out by myself. We don't want to trouble you too much now, do we? All we're asking is that you cover the wedding. I'm not doing that. Also, if you're seeing Donald soon, tell him to reply to my messages. Let's all sit down and talk about this properly. We can talk about what to do from here on out, the wedding, everything. Donald said he doesn't want to know or see you. Whatever was going on between you and Donald is over. You must already have moved forward from this. I can't believe my eyes. Look, I'll be married before you from now on. You're getting what you deserved for attempting to outrun me with this. You should definitely just be silent at this point and pay attention to what the winner has to say. Mary, hey! A long time has passed. This is the last step. Today will be the best day of my life. Are you prepared to make a purchase? The marriage has already ended. Huh? What are you referring to? The wedding is today. You are aware that you're responsible for paying for it, correct? Why would I spend money on a wedding that's unrelated to me? The wedding's already passed. What do you mean now? I have a groom. In fact, I think you already know him quite well. What? Someone I know? What are you talking about? I made my way to the location on my own the day after Donald left me. Since we had already reserved everything, I decided it would be better to go and inform them of the cancellation of the wedding. It was serendipity that I ran into him at the event. It was a gift of fate. Fate? It turns out that Atlas was the venue's manager. Atlas? You mean Mr. Nerd Atlas from college? That boring college guy that you've been dating? I can't believe he's changed like that. That's the same Atlas from college. Honestly, I thought the exact same thing as you. There's no way that's Atlas. I told him the whole situation when he came to me. He advised me not to call off the wedding, just to alter the date after I explained what had occurred. He then abruptly proposed to me after saying that I should marry him instead. Naturally, I was shocked, but I agreed. It's like the plot of a movie! It can't be true! When we spoke, the venue had just had a cancellation for last week. So about a week ago, we made the most of all my wedding planning and decided to tie the knot. Wait a minute! Then, what about my wedding? You're talking about the wedding you and Donald planned yourselves, right? No, we were supposed to use the wedding you had planned for you and Donald. You sound absolutely stupid. I changed the date of my wedding. Do I understand well that you expect me to just give you the time and money I spent preparing my wedding? Did you really think I would do it? Of course! You were the one who was supposed to pay for the whole wedding! I don't recall making any such promises. You didn't need to promise me you'd do it because I told you to do it! That's why I called you and asked to talk, so we could clear things up. You two were the ones who decided to ignore all my calls. Just to be clear, you're saying that the wedding you planned already took place a week ago? And we've only reserved the venue? I just went to the location, told them I wanted to be married on the day you selected, and picked out my dress. The dress was the one item I decided on for myself, and only because I was certain it would be terrible since you selected it. Did you sign the contract? Do you mean the document that I signed reversing the bride's previous name to mine? When you went to sign the contract, didn't you listen to the explanation they gave you properly? I was too busy thinking about what kind of ceremony I wanted to have. What about Donald? Donald said that women should perform marriages. He left everything to me as a result. He hasn't participated in any wedding-related activities at all. In relation to that, I kept seeing this really attractive employee at the location, and he kept glancing my way. Was that Atlas? Maybe. I've told him everything. Seriously? He was so attractive that I wanted to talk to him. Donald was present, so I made the decision not to even attempt. I assumed he couldn't have made much money, since he was also employed at the venue. When I could have acquired myself a gorgeous guy from an affluent family, why did I choose the employee of a random construction firm instead? I mean, sure, Donald works for a large construction company now, but I'm pretty sure he's up for a demotion. Excuse me, what? What do you mean by that? Didn't he tell you? He's being sent to a remote office belonging to a subsidiary of the construction company he works for. He didn't tell me anything! Why would he tell you this? What's gonna happen to his salary? I don't know, but I'm sure he's facing a salary cut too. I mean, it is a small office in the middle of nowhere, to be fair. How do you know all of this? Because I told Donald's boss all about the two of you, and what the both of you did to me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get ready for my honeymoon in Italy. Good luck with your super rich and successful boyfriend from the construction company. The talk isn't done yet. How about my nuptials? While I'm gone, my attorney will be in control. So speak to him if you want to talk about anything involving money or the damages you owe me. This isn't fair! Have a good life. No! Hold on a second, please! Mary? Mary! I'm begging you, please. Aid me in fixing this. You have to pay for the wedding. Aren't we friends? I recently discovered that despite everything, those two ultimately decided to marry each other. It seems fitting that a manipulative witch and a greedy rat would end up together. However, their situation didn't turn out as idyllic as they'd hoped. I must mention that I managed to secure significant compensation through legal means from my ex-partner. As a result, they're now facing a challenging period in their lives. In order to afford lower rent, they relocated from the city to a remote area and are currently leading a modest lifestyle as they repay me. I have no sympathy for their predicament, as I have been exploring various new experiences alongside my current spouse. Fate is an interesting thing.